Last week, a giant crack appeared in Mexico, and scientists really aren't quite sure how it got there.
A massive crack in the ground that's estimated to be up to 50 feet deep has opened up in Kenya seemingly overnight.
The Earth's surface is constantly shifting and changing, shaped by the work of powerful natural forces. Among the most dramatic features of our planet are the massive cracks that form as a result of these forces. These cracks have marred the Earth's surface, however. They serve as windows into the dynamic processes that shape our world. Some of the fissures stretch across remote wilderness areas, while others slice through bustling cities, leaving a lasting mark on the landscape. How do these cracks improve our understanding of the forces that shape our Earth? Join us as we delve into the formation of the biggest cracks on Earth. Le Puy d'Enfer. Le Puy d'Enfer, also known as the Pit of Hell, is a fascinating natural wonder in the scenic Agen region of France. This intriguing site is known for its dramatic and somewhat eerie appearance. It is a stunning example of a collapsed dough line, a geological feature formed through erosion. The pit measures about 30 feet deep and 100 feet long, and sits along the edge of a seaside town, where the relentless forces of ocean waves and wind have sculpted the landscape over time. Visitors to Le Puy d'Enfer are often drawn not just by its natural beauty, but also by the rich legends and stories that surround it. The pit's name suggests something dark and mysterious, and it has long fueled the imagination of locals and tourists alike. One of the most popular legends tells of a shepherd who, while searching for a lost sheep, stumbled upon the pit and wandered inside. As the story goes, he discovered it was a hidden underground paradise filled with sparkling crystals and breathtaking formations. This secret haven became his refuge, a place where he found solace from the troubles of the world above. However, not all the stories linked to Le Puy d'Enfer are so enchanting. The pit's ominous name has also given rise to darker legends, with some believing it to be an entrance to the underworld. According to another legend, the pit was created by a young man trapped in a pact with the devil. Other legends even claim that on stormy days, the cries of drowned and damned sailors echo from its depths. It's also said that if something falls into the crack, it'll disappear forever. But not all things that find their way into the pit of hell remain lost. This was proven by a true and tragic event that took place there in 1949. The body of Robert Tare, a wealthy Parisian, was found floating in the pit by a group of children. Alongside his corpse was a waterlogged trunk, a grim discovery that led to a chilling murder investigation. The investigation revealed that Tare had been murdered by his housekeeper, André Ferrer, who sought to seize his fortune. This harrowing tale of greed and betrayal is said to have inspired Alfred Hitchcock's classic film Vertigo, adding another layer of intrigue to the already mysterious site. The Silfra Rift. Nestled within Thingvellir National Park in Iceland, the Silfra Rift is a remarkable underwater chasm that draws divers and snorkelers from around the world. Located between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, swimming in Silfra means you can literally swim between two continents. Interestingly, the rift continues to widen by about 2 centimeters each year due to the slow but constant process of continental drift. The Silfra Rift was formed by a series of earthquakes in 1789, and it is filled with glacial meltwater from the Langjökull Glacier. This water, after filtering through porous lava rock for decades, emerges in the rift with an incredible clarity. The result is some of the clearest water on Earth, with visibility reaching up to 100 meters. Divers often describe the sensation as similar to floating in a glass of pure mineral water, surrounded by vibrant shades of blue that seem almost unreal. However, to explore Silfra, you need to prepare specially, because the water temperature remains between 2 and 4 degrees Celsius year-round. To stay warm and buoyant in these frigid waters, participants must wear dry suits. Despite the cold, snorkeling and diving in Silfra are accessible to a wide range of visitors, provided they can swim and meet the basic physical requirements. This makes it a popular activity for adventurers who are eager to experience one of the most unique underwater environments in the world. Although Thingvellir Lake has an abundance of fish species and trout fishing is very popular in the lake, the fish usually do not venture far into the Silfra fissure. The marine life in Silfra consists mostly of bright green troll hair and different types of algae that provide a colorscape unlike anything that occurs naturally above the surface. The East African Rift. Here is one of the most remarkable geological formations on Earth. Stretching over 3,000 miles, which is about 4,800 kilometers, the East African Rift begins in the Jordan Valley of the Middle East and extends down to Mozambique in southern Africa. This rift is particularly fascinating because it's literally in the process of splitting the African continent into two distinct land masses. This process, known as rifting, happens due to the movement of tectonic plates beneath the Earth's surface. Now, the East African Rift is divided into two main branches. The Eastern Rift Valley, where we have the famous Great Rift Valley of Kenya, and the Western Rift Valley, which cuts through countries such as Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Each of the regions showcases the dramatic effects of tectonic activity. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions are common along the rift, providing vivid examples of the dynamic nature of our planet. The East African Rift is also of great importance to scientists studying human evolution. In Tanzania's Olduvai Gorge, often referred to as the cradle of mankind, archaeologists have uncovered fossils that offer insight into our distant past. Remains of early human ancestors, including some of the earliest hominids, have been discovered here, making the area one of the most significant archaeological sites in the world. The rift has also given rise to some of the deepest lakes on Earth, such as Lake Tanganyika and Lake Malawi. These lakes are not only breathtaking in size and depth, but are also teeming with biodiversity. Isolated by the rift's geological activity, they provide habitats for a wide variety of fish species found nowhere else on the planet. Over time, the unique environments created by the rift have allowed species to evolve independently, contributing to the region's rich biodiversity. Looking into the future, the rift may eventually lead to the formation of a new ocean. As the African continent continues to split apart, the land between the tectonic plates will slowly subside, allowing ocean water to fill the gap. This process will, however, take millions of years before completion. Tator Hills. In the very dry landscape of southern Pinal County, Arizona, Tator Hills is the site of one of the most remarkable earth fissures, a phenomenon that holds both geological importance and stark beauty. This massive fissure stretches nearly 2 miles, and it has left a deep, jagged scar across the desert terrain, a reminder of the powerful forces at work beneath the Earth's surface. The fissure at Tator Hills began forming sometime between March and December 2014. It initially appeared as a crack about a mile long. By March 2016, this fissure had expanded by an additional 3/4 of a mile. Its sudden emergence surprised many, especially since the region had experienced relatively modest land subsidence, averaging about 1 inch annually over the past decade. Earth fissures like the one at Tator Hills are typically caused by the depletion of groundwater. As water is drawn from underground aquifers, the land above can sink, resulting in long, deep cracks. In Arizona, this process is intensified by agricultural activities and the demands of urban water use. The state's dry climate, combined with heavy reliance on groundwater for irrigation and consumption, puts a lot of strain on these underground reservoirs. As water levels drop, the ground above becomes more susceptible to collapse, which in turn leads to the formation of fissures. The walls of the Tator Hill fissure are sharply defined and almost vertical, offering a clear view deep into the earth. This striking appearance makes it an ideal subject for geological study and drone photography. Drones have been extensively used to capture high-resolution images and videos of the fissure, providing valuable data for scientists. However, while the fissure is a fascinating subject of study, it also presents significant hazards. The ground around the fissure is unstable, and the fissure itself can be dangerous to approach. During heavy rains, it quickly fills with water, increasing the risk of sudden collapse or further erosion. This potential danger has prompted the Arizona Geological Survey to step up its monitoring and mapping efforts in the area. Using advanced technology, they track changes in the fissure's structure to ensure public safety. The Rio Grande Rift. The Rio Grande Rift, stretching from central Colorado down into northern Mexico, is one of the most remarkable continental rift zones in the world. This huge geological feature spans approximately 1,000 kilometers, with its width varying between 50 and 100 kilometers. The Rio Grande Rift is not just a single crack in the earth, though. Instead, it is a complex system of basins and ranges. Over the past 30 million years, as the Earth's crust has been slowly pulled apart, a series of fault-bounded basins have formed along the rift. This process of extension, where tectonic forces stretch the North American plate, has caused the crust to thin and fracture, leading to the development of large faults and the collapse of valleys. The towering mountains and deep valleys we see today is the result of millions of years of these tectonic forces at work. One notable area within the rift is the Jemez Mountains in New Mexico, which are home to the Valles caldera, one of the largest and most active calderas in North America. The volcanic history of the rift is etched into the landscape, visible in the dark lava fields and the towering remnants of ancient eruptions. In addition to its volcanic features, the Rio Grande Rift is known for its significant geothermal activity. Hot springs and geothermal vents are common throughout the region, especially in areas where the Earth's crust is particularly thin. Here, heat from the mantle can easily reach the surface, creating opportunities for harnessing this geothermal energy. The potential for renewable energy development has made the Rio Grande Rift an area of interest for scientists and energy companies, as they explore ways to tap into this natural resource. Crack in Mexico. On August 16, 2014, a drone flying over northwest Mexico captured something extraordinary: a massive crack that had suddenly appeared in the earth. This enormous fissure, measuring 16 feet wide and 25 feet deep, sliced through the landscape, causing enormous damage. Farmland was disrupted, and a critical road connecting to Highway 26, an essential route for the area, was rendered unusable. What was once a smooth desert expanse was now marred by sharp, well-defined walls, plunging deep into the ground, signaling that significant geological forces were at work. The crack quickly drew attention from both local residents and the authorities. Witnesses near the Las Animas Highway in the Laguna Ejido area were the first to report the anomaly, prompting civil protection officials and experts to rush to the scene. Reports from local outlets, including El Diario de Chihuahua and Alerta Mundial Info, detailed the extent of the damage and the puzzling nature of the event. Despite thorough investigations, experts were unable to identify an immediate cause for the fissure. Geologists from the University of Sonora speculated that the extensive groundwater extraction in the region might have played a significant role in the formation of the crack. In arid areas like northwest Mexico, farmers often drill deep into the earth to access water for irrigation. This process can lower the water table, and as the ground dries out, it can become unstable and prone to cracking. Groundwater depletion is a common culprit in the formation of such fissures, and it's not just a local issue. Scientists from NASA have raised concerns that similar events could occur globally if groundwater extraction continues unchecked. As scientists continue to monitor the fissure, there is a growing awareness of the need to address these issues on a global scale. Without careful management, similar geological disruptions could become more common, not just in Mexico, but in many other parts of the world, where groundwater is a critical resource. Kjeragbolten. Kjeragbolten is one of Norway's most iconic natural wonders, drawing adventurers, photographers, and nature lovers from all over the world. Located within the Kjerag mountain in the Lissefjord region, this remarkable site features a massive boulder wedged between two towering cliffs, creating a thrilling and visually stunning experience for those who visit. The name Kjeragbolten comes from Kjerag, the name of the mountain, and Bolten, which means bolt or rock. This enormous boulder, estimated to weigh several hundred tons, sits dangerously in a crevice between two sheer cliff walls, about 3,200 feet above the fjord below. The Kjeragbolten was formed due to the region's geological history. Rogaland, where Kjerag is located, lies in a weak tectonic zone. Over several glaciations, rivers carved into the surrounding sandstone mountains, deepening the valley. Norway was completely covered in glaciers during these periods. As the glaciers melted, they left behind a landscape shaped by the powerful forces of ice and water. Between these glaciations, the meltwater repeatedly reshaped the valley, and after the last glacial period around 50,000 BC, global warming caused sea levels to rise, flooding the fjords. Kjeragbolten was deposited during this last glaciation. As the glaciers melted, the land rebounded faster than the sea level rose, wedging the boulder into its current position between the cliffs. This natural process created the stunning and precarious setting that we see today. Standing on Kjeragbolten is a moment of pure adrenaline. The thought of the boulder perched so high above the fjord is both thrilling and humbling. For those brave enough to step onto the rock, the experience is unforgettable, offering a unique blend of natural beauty and the excitement of standing at the edge of one of the world's most famous geological formations, the Big Horn Gash. In 2015, a surprising geological event occurred in the foothills of the Big Horn Mountains. A vast fissure suddenly appeared on a remote ranch, spanning roughly the length of 6 football fields. This unexpected feature, later dubbed the Gash, was discovered by a group of hunters who, on their annual trip, were struck by how dramatically their familiar landscape had changed. What they found was so unusual that they called in an engineer to help unravel the mystery behind its formation. The engineer's investigation revealed that the fissure was caused by a shift in the land, triggered by a saturated spring-fed water source. Despite the dramatic appearance of the fissure, there had been no preceding earthquakes or other signs of seismic activity. Geologists like Tom Dre explain that such shifts in the land are not uncommon in Wyoming, where movements of groundwater often cause the ground to settle or shift. In most cases, these occurrences are harmless, happening in remote areas far from human habitation. Fortunately, this event at Bighorn also unfolded in an uninhabited area, so there were no human casualties or significant property damage. However, it raised a pressing question. What if such a fissure were to open up in a populated area? The situation in Wyoming is a microcosm of a larger issue affecting much of the Southwest. As the demand for water increases, especially in arid regions, the risks associated with land shifts and fissures become more pressing. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like our video, subscribe to the channel, and to watch other interesting content. Check out another of our videos now. See you on the other side.